My name is Maria Lopez Onofre, and I interned at the Forsyth County Sheriff's Office. So a little bit about me is that I am a sociology major with a concentration of criminology, hence why I wanted to intern at a sheriff's office. So I graduate in spring 2025, and one of the reasons why I chose the sheriff's office was because I wanted to have a better understanding of the legal system. I also wanted to explore any career opportunities here, and also I wanted to develop skills. So, a little bit about the Forsyth County Sheriff's Office is that it was first established in 1832, a year after the county was founded. It is currently the third largest full-service sheriff's office in Georgia, and they offer a multitude of different training classes that other counties actually send their deputies to. The Forsyth County Sheriff's Office mission statement is to protect life and property, deter crime, create relationships in the community, and set an example of professionalism and service. So they are responsible for law enforcement services, jail management, court security, and serving the writs and papers of the court. They operate out of 4 primary locations with around 500 employees. So, about the chain of command, at the very top is actually the citizens of Forsyth County, who then elect a sheriff. And currently our sheriff is Sheriff Ron H. Freeman, and he's in charge of making policies. He changes a lot of things within the system. And below him is actually Chief Deputy Joe Perkins. And then after the Chief Deputy, it actually separates into 4 main bureaus. And these bureaus are the Sheriff's Service Bureau, Operations Bureau, Enforcement Bureau, and Jail Bureau. And then after that, it separates even more and then more. So when it comes to funding, the Forsyth County Sheriff's Office actually has a county budget. They also use fines from traffic citations like speeding, passing stoplights, stop signs, and lights. They also use civil processing fees, such as like fees that you pay once you go to court. They also receive grants from these state programs like the HEAT grant, and HEAT is a unit in the Forsyth County Sheriff's Office that specializes against unsafe driving, so like DUIs and reckless behavior. They also accept donations from law enforcement foundations through taxes, and this is if a citizen would like to donate money, they have the option to do that, and they get a tax write-off. So the chain of command within the bureau. So after the chief deputy, there is majors, captains, first lieutenants, lieutenants, sergeant first class, sergeant, corporal, master deputy, and then deputy second class, and then deputy first class. So I was able to intern at 5 different departments within the sheriff's office, and my first stop was courts. So courts is a part of the judicial operations branch, and Captain Alan Frumton, he oversees this division as a whole. While I was there, it was Sergeant Kevin Mitchell that oversaw the operations within the court. So he would be going around making sure everything runs smoothly, putting people in position, and making sure everything went according to plan. So within the court, there is Superior Court, State Court, and Juvenile Court. The court also offers different services such as traffic citation help. They also have their victim advocates office there, and there's programs for offenders just like rehabilitation programs, care court, drug court, stuff like that. My second stop was actually at Uniform Patrol. I was in the north side. Uniform Patrol is divided into two sections, North and South Precinct. In the North, Captain Tom Little oversees the operations. So the Sheriff's Office for Uniform Patrol is divided into A, B, C, and D watch, and then it's also divided into night and day shift, and their shifts are 12 hours long. They go in early for their briefing, and then they're sent on the road. So each watch and shift has a field trained officer, and these are supervisors that are on the road. They go along with deputies if it's a risky call, just like domestic violence or dispute calls. They also receive the other deputies' paperwork and reports, and they make sure everything is fine before submitting it because it's a government document, so it has to be right, and they make sure it's right. Regular deputies conduct traffic stops, citation, speed checks, and they also help out the community if needed. My third stop was at Criminal Investigations, CID. So this is a part of the Operations Bureau, and it's divided into four major sections. So there's property crimes, major crimes, special investigations, and homeland security. I was in the property crimes section, which is also divided into property crimes unit and then financial unit. So the person who oversees property crime unit is Sergeant William O'Hare, and he makes sure all the deputies are where they need to be. He also answers questions, and he actually looks over reports and makes sure everything is being done legally, So in CID, they conduct investigations. They also analyze evidence. They work with other agencies, and they conduct interviews. My fourth stop was at the Jail Bureau, and Captain Tom Moore oversees the Jail Bureau. Just like Uniform Patrol, it's also divided into different watches and day and night shift, as well as being 12-hour shifts. Each jail section is different, and they have different sergeants and lieutenants. So some of the sections I was actually able to visit was Watchtower, Master Control, and Booking. A little fun fact is that the jail is actually connected to the courthouse, being easy for the jail to transport any incarcerated individuals to court without the risk of them escaping. My fifth stop was at the training center, and it's a part of the Sheriff's Service Bureau. It's smaller compared to most departments, and the chain of command is also smaller as well. So the person in charge is Captain Rob Haggerty. After the captain is Lieutenant Poe, and then there's Deputy First Class Young, and then Deputy First Class Holcomb. Both Deputy First Class make sure that the class material is put together. They make PowerPoints, they plan everything out in order for the class to run smoothly. My internship experience at the courts was that I was able to attend court cases since they're open to the public. I was able to attend revocations, civil non-jury, care court, state court plea deals, arraignments, drug court, civil bench trials, jury trials, and then I was able to talk to victim advocates. At Uniform Patrol, I did ride-alongs with deputies, so I was on the road, and I also was able to ask them questions. They conducted traffic stops, auto accidents, disputes, welfare checks, business and subdivision checks, animal calls, there was a horse that was on the road and they were able to find the owner. And I also got to review body cams and ask questions, as well as review the reports and see how they conduct that. At CID, I was able to view reports and accompany detectives on crime scenes. I was able to see the real-time crime center. Sorry. And this is where they actually check cameras on street cameras and cameras at schools. I also was able to be on the lookouts, shoplifting, burglary, cryptocurrency cases, and counterfeit crimes. Uh, at the jail, it was purely observational due to safety concerns, but I was able to see the booking process, fingerprinting, watchtower, and master control. In the training division, I was actually able to observe and participate in the class, such as firearms, breaching, which is when you break open a door, shield work, defensive tactics, mental health scenarios as well. For the literary review, it is estimated that about 40% of people in jail and 30% of people in prison have been diagnosed with a mental illness. So it's very common for offenders to be mentally ill or have something along the lines of that, and it's significantly higher compared to the general public. So these individuals with these mental health problems are more likely to engage in violent behavior like committing assault, aggravated battery, even with accurate support system and programs. Many of these individuals tend to face repeated incarceration, which actually worsens their condition because sometimes you don't really catch what's going on. Um, Depending on the mental illness they suffer, they also correlate with the crime. So, for example, if somebody has antisocial personality disorder or bipolar disorder, tend to be a little more aggressive, especially if they're male. Certain mental health illnesses also cause increased level of aggression. So programs like Care Court actually work, and this is also offered at the Forsyth County Sheriff's Office. Care Court is Community Assistance Recovery and Empowerment Courts, and the purpose is to provide mental health treatment and support to these individuals. They don't have to be incarcerated, but they are offenders. Mental health courts are generally successful, however, they do face challenges such as limited resources and poor coordination. These courts often lack financial support, and they're generally successful when it comes to lowering reoffending rates. And they're often personalized to the offender in order to help them better themselves and also reintegrate into society. A theory I found that goes well with the sheriff's office is functionalism. So it views society as an organism with different parts and roles that ensure society functions. Uh, so different departments actually work together in order to maintain stability and order. An example would be a burglary case. So Uniform Patrol could take the initial reports, take statements, and then CID conducts the investigation and they review the evidence like security cameras, report something, and then they could find the suspect and conduct an interview. And once they have enough evidence, they could actually arrest the person, and then the jail processes them and they place the suspect in a housing unit, and then based obviously on the evidence the court can try them as guilty. So this shows how their coordination and cooperation ensures the system runs smoothly since it is a large system of control and protection. It also focuses on social stability. It tries to reinforce social norms by setting boundaries. It provides consequences for deviant behavior. They enforce the law and that there is a clear understanding of the rules. It's an interdependent system in order to be efficient, so they rely on each other and they bounce ideas off of each other to make sure everybody's rights is being respected and that they're being fair. So a reflection is that Um, I'm glad for this internship. I was able to get a deeper understanding of the criminal justice system. It's actually been rewarding to talk to many deputies and detectives and judges. I was able to connect with them, and this has helped me narrow down my career path a little bit. And I'm glad that I was able to actually see and sit down in many of these court programs that are offered, and the opportunities that are offered to the offenders, which was amazing to see. And I also was able to network with some people, and I realized the importance of it and how it plays a role within the sheriff's office, because you never want to be on someone's bad side, and you always want to know someone if you need it. Thank you for listening to my presentation. And then these are my resources. Thank you so much.